For this homework assignment, what you're going to be doing is creating the skeleton of your final website portfolio. So for your Module 407's assignment, you're going to be creating the different pages, the tabs for your website and the home page. And then for your final submission for your website portfolio, that's where you're going to add each of the different learning artifacts in there for that final submission. Okay, to start out, what you're going to do is go to education.weebly.com and create an account. Once you create an account, you're going to start by creating your first website. Now, your view is going to look slightly different than mine, but you're going to hit Add Site. And then here is where you're going to choose a theme for your website. So what you're not married to are like the different images and the fonts and the colors and stuff that are in here. So like your website portfolio doesn't have to have this like chili and citrus, plate here. You don't have to have this font if you don't want to. What you are married to are the different spatial relationships between things. So take a look at where this menu is, top right, compared to this one, right here in the middle. The spacing in between each. This kind of has more of like a classic button with the rectangle around it. This does not. Here has like a really big header. This one also has a really big header. They're very similar in that they have the menu in the top right hand corner. This is a little bit different. These are a bit more wide open. Once again, top right hand corner, for those menus. So once you find one that you like, you would hit choose. And then here, when you get to this screen, you're always going to use a subdomain of Weebly.com. So that is the free version of Weebly. And what it does is instead of having it be like alexfegleyportfolio.com, it'll be alexfegley.weebly.com. So you just, choose whatever name you want here for your portfolio. Try and make it something that's relevant to you and also professional. So like I said, alexfegley.weebly.com would work for me. alexfegleyportfolio.weebly.com would work for me. So just, try different combinations of your name and other professional words in there, something like portfolio if you need it. And then once this becomes available, then you can go down here to continue. If it gives you the red X and it's not available, obviously you need to, keep trying to find a different URL name there for the customization area. So I'm going to hit continue. And then in here, the first thing that we're going to do is go to our Pages tab. And then under Pages, this is all of the different template pages that are provided to us. We're going to delete all of these. So I'm going to go in and hit Delete. For About, I'm going to click it and then go down and hit Delete. Same thing for Contact. I'm going to select it, go to Delete, and then confirm that deletion. Now we just have this home page. On this home page, you can customize what your website's called. Okay, so you can customize that. And once again, depending on what template you have, these different elements might be in slightly different locations. So, this might be in the top right-hand corner. Your menu might be in the middle. So just keep that in mind as we go through this tutorial together. Okay, up here, this area is a header. And you can drag elements into that. So I'm going to go to Build. And I'm going to drag the title tool into that header area. And this is where we're going to write home because it's going to be our home page. Okay. If you take a look at the criteria for this assignment, on your home page, you have to have your name, a photo is optional, and then a professional self-introduction and personal educational philosophy. So if I scroll down, on this page, there's a drag elements here area below that header. So this header is going to be over top of the picture. We don't want to put too much text there because it's going to really fight with it. You're not going to have good contrast. Thinking back to your craft design principles. So go underneath the header. You should have a blank area. It says drag elements here. For drag elements here, we're going to grab the text tool and drag that into that area for our home page. And then here is where we're going to write our professional self-introduction. As well as our personal educational philosophy. Okay, so you might be asking, what goes in your professional self-introduction? This is really just background information on you, so you might want to welcome them to your website portfolio, tell them, what it's all about, and then tell the reader, who you are, where you're from, what school you go to, what you want to teach, that kind of stuff. For the personal educational philosophy, here, if you've taken Dr. Mark's class and you've written your educational philosophy, you can copy that, paste that right in here. That's totally cool with me. Otherwise, you're going to describe what type of teacher you really want to be, what you want students to get out of your class beyond getting A's. What life lessons do you want them to learn? How do you want to make those students feel in your class? And then maybe just how you view the field of education in general. So I'm not looking for you to get down into like constructivism, behaviorism, or anything like that at this point. You can, if you want, you can research that, see where you fall as far as, your standpoint on education. You don't have to get that deep with it, but you can think more about what you feel the role of teachers is, what is the role of education in our society, that type of thing can also be included here. Okay, so once you have your professional self-introduction and personal educational philosophy written, the next thing that you might want to add is a picture of yourself. So you go over here into the build menu, and then you drag that image tool into your workspace here, and then you would select the image that you want. Okay, so now I have my professional self-introduction in here, I have my personal educational philosophy, as well as a picture of myself. So our homepage is pretty much good to go. There are a couple other things that you might want to do on this page, just depending. So if you wanted to change this image here, you just select it, and then you would hit edit background, then you would hit replace for that image. You can search through different images that they have here. And you could choose one that you like. Okay, so if that's something that you liked, you could do that. You can also, blur this, darken it, lighten it, to add different contrast to it. So I could darken that a little bit. And then when you're ready, you would hit save. Now I have a new background image there. Another thing that you can do is go to Google and then search for something like a classroom. If you want a classroom image, you go to images, and then you'd refine those results. So you go to tools, then you go to size, and you look for large images of classrooms because we don't want to stretch it and pixelate it and have it look bad. So then we would go through here and find a classroom image that is large. That would also work for our header here. And then we would save that image. I'm just going to put it into my downloads folder. I'm going to call this classroom. Call it classroom 4. And then back in my portfolio, I could hit edit background, could replace that image, and then upload a photo from your computer. I would go to where I saved that image to, which is my downloads. Hit open. It'll take that picture, pop it in there. I could zoom it if I wanted to. I might blur this a bit. Something like that. I could darken it as well. There are also a bunch of different filters that are on here. So you can go grayscale if you wanted to. So fool around with these different filters that are on here, and then choose something that works best for you. Okay, when you're done, hit save in the top right-hand corner. Okay, so now I have a picture of a classroom here. I have my home page, all set up, and we're good to go with that. The next thing that we have to do is make the different pages for our website. So we're going to go to Pages here. If you take a look at the module 407 criteria, you need to make these 2 main tabs, so homework assignments and mastery projects, and then you need to make these sub-tabs for each of those main tabs for the different learning artifacts that we're going to be putting in here. So to do that, I'm going to go to the plus standard page. I'm going to call this one homework assignments and hit done. And then for each of the different homework assignments, you're going to create subpages. To do that, same process, standard page, Desktop publishing is the first one. And then for each of these subpages, to make it a subpage, you would drag it underneath it. So right now you'll see in our menu, homework assignments and desktop publishing are on the same level. We don't want that. We want desktop publishing to be a subpage of homework assignments. So we just hover over it. We'll get the three little dots and the four-way arrow. We can drag it in a level. And now if I hover over homework assignments, desktop publishing pops up underneath. So we're going to do that for each of those other pages that you need to make. Okay, and then for each of these, we would drag it in one level. If you ever mess up and drag it in too far, and for whatever reason you can't pop it out one level, it might get stuck here. I found it best to drag it up above home, and it'll drag all the way out, and then you can put it back down in place, and then drag it into the correct level. Okay, so if you ever run into an issue where you can't, change the level back, go left one level, drag it all the way to the top, and then drag it back down, and you'll be able to readjust. And then I'm going to make the main tab for Mastery Projects. And then underneath this one, we're going to do the exact same process as for these, but with the unit 1 through 6 mastery assignments. Okay, when you get done, your left-hand column here under Pages should look like this. We have Home, Homework Assignments, and Mastery Projects as our main pages. Then underneath, we have each of these different sub-tabs. And if I hover over top of it in my preview, you'll see that it's set up correctly. Okay, and then what you can do for each of these different tabs. So for like homework assignments, students sometimes ask what type of content to put here. What I recommend is going into Build and then dragging the text tool down here and then talking about what these different homework assignments are. Okay, so that's what will go on this main homework assignments page. Same type of deal for Mastery Projects. So here you would title it Mastery Projects. Under Build, you grab the text tool, drag it down here, and then this is where you would say, what these different Mastery Projects are, what they represent, that kind of thing. Then for each of the individual pages, this is where we're going to go in. So like desktop publishing, we have this header area. This is where we're going to say desktop publishing. So you're going to give it a title, for each of the different pages. And then down here is where you would drag the specific tool in for displaying that particular learning artifact. And what I'm going to do is in another video walk you through how to upload each of your different learning artifacts into your website portfolio. Okay? Yeah, so all you would have to do is go through each of these different pages and then title them. Okay, so do that for each of these different ones. If you want to change your theme at any time, you can go under Theme, and you can change your theme. Just know that some of your stuff might get messed up. It might get thrown out of whack, and you might have to go back and change some things. So another thing that's kind of important is if you want to change these background photos on more than one page, it's going to take a long time to go page by page and then upload or change each one. So a quick way to do that is to select it, hit Edit Background. And then, you would replace it with whatever you want. So I'm just going to do a search. I'm just going to use this one. Okay, hit save. And if I wanted this page's image to be on multiple pages, I would hit Edit Background, go to Advanced, and then Save to More Pages. And that's where I could click, multiple pages. Maybe I want it to be all the different homework assignments. I would select all those and hit Save. And now that header image is going to be on all the different homework assignment pages. Okay, so it's a much faster way of going through and customizing those pages. Okay, so for your submission, what you're going to do is make sure that you hit Publish in the top right-hand corner. So hitting Publish saves your website portfolio. You're going to make sure it says use a subdomain of Weebly.com, and you're going to hit Continue. Once you hit Continue, it's going to give you this blue URL, and this is going to be your live URL that no one can get in and copy or anything like that. It's going to have all your information on it. You can either copy this URL, which is going to be your customized name .weebly.com, or you can just copy this link address that gives you in blue here. Don't worry about this area down here where it says that alexfegley.net, whatever it is, .com, .net is available. They're trying to upsell you there. You don't have to buy anything here. You can just simply hit the X and your progress is saved. So once again, you're going to hit publish to save your progress. And your progress is saved. And then this is going to be the link that you're going to copy, paste into a Word document, and then upload for credit for this assignment. Okay? If you have any questions, please let your instructor know.